In this presentation, I will attempt to highlight some of the values, beliefs, and behaviours of Ian McGeechan. Ian McGeechan is quite a well-known rugby coach, famously coaching Scotland, the British and Irish Lions, Northampton Saints, London Wasps, and Bath Rugby. Based on the book Sports Coaching Cultures from Practice to Theory by Jones, Armour, Potrak, 2004, I've picked out some values, beliefs, and behaviours of the coach I want to discuss. I've identified 3 values that, based on the literature, I've picked out that I connect with regards to Ian McGeechan. Well, the first one is clarity. For me, that means players understanding their role in the team and what's expected of them is a common trend in the chapter and other coaches within the book as well. The second point is discipline. So being disciplined is important to a lot of people. But what I find interesting about Ian McGeechan is it's more about being well organised and well prepared as well, which I feel is something that good coaches do really well, especially when it comes to attention to detail. And the last one is individuality. It's a bit of a buzzword at the moment in coaching. And Ian McGeechan, someone who's coached for a very long time, was definitely very revolutionary, in my opinion, when it came to this. He believes that being a person who takes ownership and can be themselves is very important within a sporting environment, which is a reason why I think this is a value. So these seem to be the 3 main things that stand out as values. Now, the beliefs he has stem from that. So, for example, roles need to be carefully explained. This goes back to being disciplined and also ensuring that players have good clarity on where they fit within a team. Attention to detail is essential. That therefore comes back to being disciplined again and being organised. Understanding leads to better results. That's a belief he has. So therefore, if they have clarity, they're therefore going to be able to know what they're doing and why they're doing it, which means that they're going to be better at what they do. Structure and discipline leads to fluidity, reinforcing what we've just discussed in the previous beliefs. And players make better decisions when they are secure. If they feel comfortable, then they feel that they're more likely to be themselves and want to play the way they want to play and do what they want to do. So creating a supportive environment is going to be a key to doing this. Some of the behaviours that Ian McGeechan talks about. So help players tactically and technically. That's linking back to that clarity again and making sure that they understand what they're there for and also what they need to do. Encouraging individuality. Some people have different strengths and weaknesses. So encouraging players to play to their strengths will have an advantage for them. Practice core skills until they become habits. Under pressure, you're going to make mistakes. So if your core skills are habits, therefore you're less likely to make mistakes under pressure. Don't apologize if sessions are repetitive. If you're constantly working on the core skills, then you probably are going to do a lot of repetition. But he believes that this is key to success. Coach and develop understanding. He's a very developmental coach from the literature. And I get the feeling that he wants to improve players more and more. So development is a key part of his coaching practice. Share thoughts with players. This is something a lot of coaches sometimes lack confidence in doing, but he believes that it helps to strengthen that clarity of those players, but also get a better feel and understanding of the players that he works with. Give direct points for why we lost. Well, this is something that players will respect because at the end of the day, they just want to know why do they lose and what do they need to work on. You don't need to sit down and have hours-long meetings listening to, well, you could have done this better, you could have done that better. They want it to be clear, they want it to be quick, and they want to be able to move on and also improve. And also making sure sessions are relevant is key. Otherwise, what is the point? So, quick summary. Maximizing the potential of players. Don't aim to win matches. the winning will take care of itself. This is something that stood out to me in the text, and it's something I agree with, because at the end of the day, as a coach, you're there to be successful. But if you focus on the uncontrollables, you're less likely to control the outcome. You've got to control what you can control. So let's work on developing our players' ability. Let's improve their skills. Let's make them better. And let's get more organized. Let's put things into practice. We're doing all the building blocks that we need to make sure we're going to be successful. A little quote from the book: "You give them the roots to grow and the wings to fly." It's a really interesting quote, this, and I think that for me, I've interpreted that as, I'm going to give you the bits you need to learn. I'm going to make you better. I'm going to help you, learn more and become a better player so that you can go away and then become even better yourself. So it's kind of a relationship between the coach and the player. Structure and discipline leads to fluidity. So that comes back to that point of clarity, preparation, and individuality all working together to create a successful individual and a successful team. He also talks about players needing to take responsibility. It's not just up to the coach to decide what needs to be done. Players have a voice too. And he encourages players through sharing his beliefs with players and asking them what they think, so that they can take responsibility for their own actions as well. Because if you model that as a coach, then you'd like to think the people you work with also do the same. Be organized, but don't restrict. I thought that was a really interesting point, because in coaching, a lot of coaches tend to try and control the different minute details all the times. But actually being organized, but allowing players to go off and do what they need to do is also a way of having success. And coaches develop a collective understanding. If we're all on the same page and we're all moving in the right direction, which seems to be a trend within the book with a lot of coaches, is going to be the key for creating a successful team. And there is the reference of the book that I used.